Welcome, everybody, to Houma, Louisiana. This is the home of a brand new school in college football, the Houma University Bobcats. They're going to join the Sun Belt Conference in place of Arkansas State. This team is a one-star program with grades below C in pretty much every category that you can possibly think of for this school. It's going to be their first year as a true program in college football, but they have a lot of work to do. They will play at Cypress Grove Stadium in their hometown of Houma, Louisiana. This is the crowd, this is the field, this is the stadium, this is the sideline. This team has a lot of work to do, so let's go learn about this roster. Quarterback, we have Tyler Olson, our senior, under center with 82 speed. He is best at throwing short, 87 short accuracy, and 86 throw power. His deep accuracy is only a 73 though, so that leaves a lot to be desired. Our starting tailback is Spencer Strickland at 86 speed, 89 acceleration, one of the slower guys in the backfield, but he will be the starter to open year one. Our number one wideout is Demetrius Williamson, who comes in with his best attribute as spectacular catch at just below a 90. And he will play alongside receivers Javian Foreman and Scooter Page, all three of whom have less than 89 speed, so we're not going to blow by anybody down the field. And coming in at a 62 overall, our number one tight end is Scott McClawler, who is a 62 overall. He's got a lot of work to do. On the offensive line, we've got guys like Kalen Franklin, who's a junior. We got DeMarcus Perkins at right guard, who's also a junior. At center, we've got Jalen McDonald, a senior, one of our top needs going into recruiting. At left guard, we got Max McClure. And at left tackle, we've got Blake Sutton Jr., also a senior. There's also Tariq Williams here as well. They're both similar overalls. At right end, we've got Kobe Garland, who will play opposites of Joshua Townsend there at left end. At defensive tackle, you've got Deshaun Weeks, and you've got Jarian Love, a junior and a senior, only 65 overall between the two. At left outside linebacker, you've got Taj Coles. He will wear number 0 for us. He's a power rushing archetype. And at right outside, you've got Octavius Terrell, also a senior. And between those two players, you'll have the top player on the roster, Chase Freeman, our senior middle linebacker, and he will play alongside Bubba Van Claiborne, a junior from Portland, Oregon. In the secondary, we've got number one corner, senior Jaden Bowie, who has the highest speed amongst all of our cornerbacks. He'll play alongside Noah Collins Jr. and Terrell Pace, who's out of Providence, Rhode Island. At free safety, Nako Solomon comes in as a junior wearing number 28. He's got 86 speed. And besides him, in the third level of this defense, you've got Quincy Blue, a sophomore, 65 overall safety. He'll battle for playing time with senior Alexander Valentine, who is also a 65 overall. And finally, on special teams, we have our kicker, Ian Wells, who only has 72 kick accuracy, but he does have 90 kick power. And finally, our second highest rated player on the entire team, only behind Freeman, you've got Matthew York, the punter, 84 kick accuracy, 93 kick power. This roster requires a lot of work, especially here in our first year of recruiting. This team comes in at a 67 overall, the offense being less than that, so it might not be any high-flying touchdowns. There might not be a lot of scoring with this team, but hopefully these older players like Williamson, Perkins, and Cole, and Freeman can all step up and hopefully just get us a couple of wins. Our goal is to win 4 here in year number 1. We'll be playing in the Sun Belt alongside teams like Appalachian State, Coastal Carolina, Georgia Southern, Georgia State, James Madison, Louisiana, Marshall, Old Dominion, South Alabama, Southern Mississippi, Texas State, Troy, and UL Monroe. And we'll be in the Western Division alongside Louisiana, South Alabama, Southern Miss, Texas State, Troy, and UL Monroe. And the team will be led by former Los Angeles Ram Rahim Finch. We're going to run the Alabama multiple playbook, the 4-2-5 defense. He played at USC, and so because of that, he'll have a Southern California pipeline. This is the head coach of Houma, and this is the head coach of this Teambuilder Dynasty the rest of the way. So because we do incorporate Arkansas State's history in terms of, all of their school grades and all of their records, this is going to be a pretty downtrodden program. They have not reached a bowl game since the 2019 college football season. They've been in the Sun Belt Conference for quite some time, but after 4 straight losing seasons, this program has got to be turned around. So we incorporate all their previous school records, all of that stuff, and their last winning record was in that bowl-winning season back in 2019. But the goal here is to win 4 games. So Rahim Finch does not have a lot of whole work to do here in year number 1 in terms of winning some games. We should be able to get at least 4, I think. But he's going to sign a 3-year contract with coach firing off because this is going to be a long-term rebuild. So let's go ahead and dive in. In year 1, our schedule looks like this. We open our season against Kent State here in Cypress Grove Stadium. We have another home game in week 2 facing Tulsa. Then we go on the road to Ann Arbor to face the number 9 Michigan Wolverines. Probably our toughest game of the entire season. Then we got to go on the road again to Iowa State at Jack Trice Stadium. After a week 5 bye, conference play begins against South Alabama, followed by a road game against Texas State in San Marcos, Texas, then at Southern Miss in Mississippi. Then we got Troy back at home, a week 10 bye week. Then we got a Louisiana matchup against the Ragin' Cajuns. Georgia State comes up next in week 12, and we end the year against UL Monroe and then Old Dominion before we reach postseason play. As of right now, we are only a 1-star program, and we come in with a D championship contending grade. We got C- program tradition, D brand exposure, D+ pro potential, C stadium atmosphere, C- campus lifestyle, D- academic prestige, D+ conference prestige, C coach stability, C coach prestige, and finally C athletic facilities. A lot of work to do, but if we win some games, especially here at home, then a lot of these will start to go up over the course of a couple of seasons. And because Tyler Olson is a senior quarterback and the other 4 guys on the roster just aren't good enough to play at any point in this series, quarterback is going to be one of our top options here to go after in terms of recruiting. But it's also a year for the offensive line as well. We got plenty of seniors. You also got just a pretty shoddy offensive line overall, so gonna have to focus on that as well. Now, we could focus on really any spot because the team is bad overall, but I think our needs come first. On defense, defensive tackle will for sure be a focus, but not only that, we'll also be focusing on middle linebacker, right outside linebacker, corner, and safety. If we look at the recommended tab, we have a couple of 3-star recruits that have us in their top 10, including one guy in their top 5. That is Gil Overhauser, a kicker. Now, kicker is not really a need for us, neither is center or fullback, but if we can get just better players on this roster, that has to be what we do to improve this program. At middle linebacker, Chuck Madden currently has us in his top 10, but he's getting offers from teams like Northwestern, Memphis, Vanderbilt, and Rice. But we could crack his top 8 here soon if we focus on him. I'm definitely going to target him. And Frank Bad News, a top 100 ranked center across the entire nation, does have us in his top 10. We're currently number 2 in terms of the silver pipeline. Now, if we go after him, we will be competing with teams like Georgia and Tennessee, so might want to pass on going after a guy like him for now, but I'll at least try to see what we can do here. The same goes for strong safety J.R. Lehan here out of Tennessee. He's got offers from Tennessee, Georgia, Clemson, Kentucky, and Northwestern. I'll at least see if we can make a run at him, but it might not be as easy as we think. Defensive tackle Tevin Hippenhammer out of Arkansas, a power rusher at 6'1", 311, number 29 in his position currently. we'll target him because we're currently top 6. And then we've got left guard Traylon James. And we do have his deal breaker because he is from Missouri. So we'll definitely target him a little bit here too. And tight end, despite not being a need for us, is definitely like one of the worst spots on our entire depth chart. So I think we can go after a guy like JP Nicholson here. He's only a blocking tight end, but hopefully has some other skills. And we're currently number 1 in terms of his interests. So we can definitely target him. We'll also try and go after LaShawn Gray, who is more of a receiving tight end. And he's got offers from teams like Georgia and Tennessee, Auburn, Florida State. So we have quite a few teams to beat in the running for some of these guys. At left guard, you got Damian Gallo, an agile tendency offensive lineman. We're in the top 8 for Tucker Sands, a right outside linebacker. He's more of a pass coverage guy. At right tackle, you got Reggie Cole. We're currently ranked number 7 for him. He's 66th ranked right tackle. Got Raphael Keaton here, who we don't have any interest for currently. Then we got quarterback Jason Gallimore. We're top 5 for him, but Alabama and Georgia are also going after him. But you know what? We're not going to give up on guys like him this early. At running back, we've got Tommy McQueeston, a power back. We'll add him to our board for sure. I think it's smart to just pretty much fill up the entire board and then sort through it and offer scholarships to guys that we think that we can really bring in. The number 1 fullback in the nation is DJ Ruggins, and we are currently a top 3 school for him. Fullback's not really like a desire for us, but I think if we can improve any spot on the team, that will help out a 1-star program for sure. I'm trying to focus on 2-star or higher prospects here early on to see if we can get these better guys first and then sort out the depth later. But we got Fanuel Soto out of Little Rock, Arkansas. He's got us top 4, only behind Northwestern, Rice, and Vanderbilt. I'll definitely look at him. And then we have an athlete right after who we are currently 4th for, and his hometown is St. Louis. He's going to be a running back. Why not go after him? There's also 2-star right tackle Chase Nickerson here. We're top 4 for him. We'll add him to our board. Then we got left guard Jalen Abiamiri out of Houston, Missouri. And we're top 4 for him. Might as well target that guy. Middle linebacker is one of our needs on the defensive side of the ball. We've got Earl Stockton here out of JUCO. And we're top 4 for him. We'll add him to our board. We'll also target Clyde Droogsma, the 145th ranked right tackle. And then at a left outside linebacker, you got Tremaine Moung. We'll add him. Besides Jason Gallimore, the only other prospect ranked over 1 star that has us in their top 8 is Floyd Hatchett, a scrambler. He is the 172 ranked quarterback. He's a 2-star. We'll definitely target him because with Gallimore getting offers, or at least right now getting scouted by Alabama and other really top programs, odds are we're probably not going to get him. Now, we could still crack the top 8 for a guy like Bart Casevaharn, who's a improviser guy, but he's got offers right now from Northwestern, Vanderbilt, and Troy. But we've got to at least target some quarterbacks here because our senior as a starter is going to be leaving after this first season. Now, we do have some bad news. There are no 2-star or higher prospects at corner that have us in their top interests, so we're going to have to target some 1-stars, and hopefully we can just find a couple of gems here. We'll just add a couple of these guys to our board first, and we will try our best to scout these guys and improve this secondary. And finally, at safety, I think it makes sense to target guys that fit our pipeline, so we're going to go after a 3-star named Devin Frazier. We'll add 2 more guys to round out our initial recruiting board. It's going to change a lot, though, throughout the course of this first season. Because quarterback is the most important part of recruiting here, year number 1, because of our senior, we're going to use our first scouting points for the tree on advanced look to take less time to fully scout quarterbacks. And if you're curious, by the way, about our OC, he currently has a couple of recruiting abilities for quarterbacks running backs and fullbacks and wide receivers and tight ends, so that will help us out in recruiting as well. We can save some hours. He's also got Master Motivator unlocked, which will get a bigger XP gain whenever a player levels up. On defense, our DC, Adam Hamilton, has the exact same thing, except he also has Tactician, which will get extra XP for each win, but he's got only D Prestige. Meanwhile, Russ Saunders only has D- Prestige, so expect some coaching changes here after year number 1. Because quarterback is the most important spot, and we're currently top 5 for this 3-star guy, Jason Gallimore, let's go ahead and scout him first. And we finish him in just 2 tries. He's got 85 throw power, 77 speed, so he's got some mobility, but not, too great. And he seems to be pretty well rounded, but the accuracies definitely leave a lot to be desired, especially the deep accuracy, which is not even in his top 10 attributes. So that is kind of a concern for his deep ball. But I think it's worth offering this guy a scholarship. If he can play for us for 3 to 4 years, then I will take it. So we'll offer him, and we'll see where that gets us here in a couple of weeks. We've also got 2-star quarterback Floyd Hatchet, another scrambler archetype. He's got the same throw power, but better speed than Gallimore does. Neither guy is a gem or a bust. He's got only 60 awareness, and his deep ball is also a big question mark for sure. But I think we got to offer guys like these scholarships because we're not going to get too many 2-stars. So let's go ahead and focus on these guys first. And finally, we got Bart Casefaharn, a 2-star quarterback. He's got 86 throw power. He's a much better throw it deep kind of a guy, but the medium accuracy is pretty low, so don't expect him to complete many throws across the middle too much. He's only got 74 speed, so less mobile than the other 2 quarterbacks that we've already looked at. I think I'll still offer this guy a scholarship though, because obviously quarterback is a top need. On the offensive line, Reggie Cole is a 3-star prospect that has us in his top 8 as of right now, so let's go ahead and spend some points on him. He's got some pretty good strength. Speed's pretty darn low, but he is a power guy, so not as agile as you would hope. And he's a gem, so he could be probably a 4-star prospect. Instead, he's got to be one of our top guys. So we're going to offer this guy a scholarship for sure, and hopefully that would get us up into his top 5 soon enough. But you've got some really tough schools here in the running for him. Then you've got Chase Nickerson out of Taylorsville, Missouri. We'll definitely spend some points on him first. And his finesse looks like decent, but he's going to be a work in progress for sure. Only 53 speed. I don't know if we can rock with that. That is incredibly low. Strength also not that great. I think I'll stop scouting him for now. We'll look at Clyde Droogsma instead. He's got 73 pass block finesse just like Nickerson does. And 74 strength is way better than Nickerson's was. His speed is also 9 points higher. I think we can definitely at least consider Clyde Droogsma. I will definitely offer him a scholarship. What about Traylon James? We're currently top 8 for him, so let's take a look at this left guard. He's got 76 pass block overall, awareness at a 60, 76 pass block finesse. He is going to be a bust, but probably is more of like a 2-star guard, which I think still works for us. His pass blocking skills are there, and I think right now that's probably a pretty good need for us, considering that our offensive line is not very good. So I'll offer him a scholarship despite him being a bust. Now we got Damian Gallo, another left guard. He seems better at finesse blocking overall with 76 run block finesse and 68 pass block finesse. And he is also a 3-star bust. But 85 strength is pretty darn good. The speed, though, is below 60. But we can't really be too picky here with guys like him. I'll at least offer him a scholarship for right now. And now we'll see if we can get Abi Amiri here, perhaps up to fully scouted. 66 speed is way better than we've seen so far from these kinds of players. He's more of a power blocker. And he's got 84 strength. And he is a for sure 2-star. I think I'll definitely offer him a scholarship as well. Now we've got 60 hours left to spend. So let's see about Chuck Madden here, a top 70 middle linebacker. We get him up to fully scouted. He's a 3-star for sure, 82 acceleration, 76 pursuits, just below 80 speed. 70 player, I guess, pretty good. 82 agility, I definitely like him a lot. We'll offer him a scholarship, and now we have only 5 hours left trying to get into his top 8s. And we can just offer a random player a scholarship here. And I think it makes sense to offer one of these strong safeties. Probably the guy that has us just outside the top 8. I will scout him later on. J.R. Lehan has the 10th scholarship offered by us here in the preseason. And that's it for scouting here in the preseason. Now, if you look at the scouting update, we got a couple of guys that have reached their top 8 and top 5 schools. We are currently in the top 8 and the top 5 as of right now for Damian Gallo, that 3-star bust. Reggie Cole, who's a gem, 3-star right tackle. We are top 4 for him, only behind teams like Ole Miss, and I think that's... not really sure who that second team is, but we're definitely in the running for him. We'll focus on him again going forward. We are top 5 for a running back, David Udo, who is currently being targeted. Nickerson has us top 5. And then we are top 8 for Earl Stockton, a 2-star linebacker. And we are top 4 for Clyde Droogsma. But we got locked out of a 3-star safety, Lester Hyman. And lastly, if you're curious, we do have some players at risk of transfer. Our right tackle is considering transferring. So is our number 2 receiver, Javian Foreman, our starting running back, Spencer Strickland, and our starting free safety, Nako Solomon. Plus 5 other players too. So we got to really do our best here to keep some of these guys around, because if not, there's going to be a pretty big exodus of players leaving this team, which could be a good thing in some areas, but not so much for guys that are over a 70 overall as of right now, because the team is just too bad to let those players walk. We have some good news right now as we are top 8 for Chuck Madden here, and if we're going to stay in the top 8, you might as well add a couple actions here for him. We have 350 hours per week to use this year, and obviously if you use an action, it'll keep that action for each week until he verbally commits. So I don't want to spend too much yet, but I will at least use 10 to DM the player each week. That'll cost us 10 hours. Now we're going to spend some scouting points on J.R. Lehan because we are in the top interest for him as of right now. Is he a bust or a gem? He's neither, but he's got some pretty good zone coverage. 85 jumping, 85 speed. Definitely going to add some actions for him to keep us in that number 1 spot over teams like Tennessee and Georgia, because right now he has no other scholarship offer. So that's getting us to that number 1 spot. We'll also DM him for now. Defensive tackle is definitely a need for us, so let's look at Tevin Hippenhammer out of Greenwood, Arkansas. He's got 76 pursuits, 81 strength, 74 power moves, and he is probably a 2-star, but he's still better than our 65 overall defensive tackles right now, so we'll definitely offer him a scholarship and try and crack that top 5. And even though we're top 3 with Traylon James, he has a scholarship offer from Kansas right now, which is why they are number 1. I think I might want to spend some actions on him to improve this offensive line. I think for him, we'll search his social media for now. We're going to scout tight end J.P. Nicholson. He's a 3-star for sure. He is more of a blocking guy, but his blocking skills don't even look that good. I think I'll pass for now because he just doesn't seem like he's actually a 3-star. So we'll just focus on other guys like maybe LaShawn Gray, who are top 8 right now, and we'll scout him. It'll cost us 30 hours to complete him. And he seems a lot better. 80 catching, just below 80 acceleration and agility, 74 catch in traffic. Gonna offer him a scholarship for sure. And hopefully teams like Georgia and Auburn and all these guys bow out here soon and focus on like 4 stars. Because we're top 4 for Reggie Cole, I am going to definitely maybe even send the house for him because he is a Gem 3-star. If we do that, then we'll go up to probably number 1 here soon. I'll at least start by doing contact friends and family to get us max influence without the 50 cost. Now we've got 130 hours left. And for Jason Gallimore, we're currently number 1. If we can get a guy like him, that would be huge. Even despite the very low deep accuracy, getting a quarterback like this will be a huge boost because I'm gonna be honest, Tyler Olsen kind of sucks. So we're gonna definitely, I think we just gotta send the house for this guy, to be honest with you. So we're gonna do that for this quarterback. I do want to keep looking at defensive tackles, but now Soto, we'll try and get him. He's got over 70 speed, solid strength, solid power moves, at least starting out. And he's going to be a 2-star. Currently top 7, not going to offer a scholarship just yet because nobody else has for him. And we're currently 10th on interest for this center, Frank Bad News. Why not at least see if we can scout him a little bit and potentially get into his top 8 by the time that he cuts off. We're out of hours here in week 0, but he's got 78 run block finesse. I'll definitely keep focusing on him for sure. We've been locked out of the top 8 for quarterback Bart Kesfaharn, but we are in first place for both Chuck Madden and quarterback Jason Gallimore by a pretty big long shot right now because no other scholarships have come in for either player. We're also top 5 for Floyd Hatchets at number 2, currently cracking his top 3, and we are 2nd for Traylon James, just behind Kansas, who has a pretty big influence gain over us right now, but we should be safe for his top 3 for now, but we got to beat out Kansas for him if we want to really go after him. For J.R. Lehan, Tennessee is kind of right behind us currently in terms of influence, but I think if we add one more action, like search social media, then we get some more influence and we can maybe secure a verbal commitment here in a couple of weeks. So we do know that now his interests don't pertain to academic prestige, campus lifestyle, or program traditions, so got to focus on other areas, hopefully. If it's playing time, then he will get a lot of it, so hopefully it's that. We do know that proximity to home is going to be important to him too, and that's currently an A for us, so that will really help us out, I think. For Tevin Hippenhammer, we are the number 1 school over Northwestern. I'm going to add a small action for him to keep up the max influence. You know what, why not offer a scholarship to fullback Darius Ruggins here? We'll scout him just to be sure, I guess. And he's a gem, I mean, so, like, why not? Reggie Cole, the Gem 3-star, has received 4 other scholarships. We are definitely in the running for him. We just got to beat out Ole Miss, and I believe that is Mississippi State. I forget who that number 2 team is right now for him, but I think for him, we probably just got to send the house for him because he's so good. So we're going to send the house. And we got to remove the friends and family one and just full send for him. 50 hours. For Traylon James, I don't want to give up just yet. I definitely want to DM him and get some more influence here. And hopefully Kansas kind of backs off, but who knows if they will or not. And then for Jalen Abiamiri, he seems pretty solid overall. I think I will add an action for him to get us over that number 1 school. We'll do DM the player for him. I'm also going to add one more action for Hippenhammer because we are just barely above Northwestern. So I'll add DM the player for him as well. We have yet to address outside linebacker, so let's go ahead and scout Tremaine Moang here. And he's going to be a 2-star prospect. Has no coverage skills, but has decent speed. It's not great. He has better strength as a run stopper, but the block shed needs some work, but he's a 2-star. We can use anybody right now. We'll offer him a scholarship. I don't want to forget about Earl Stockton here, the 2-star linebacker after Chuck Madden. We'll offer him a scholarship, and we'll also finish scouting on him. Going to be a 2-star, but he's got 76 tackle, 74 pursuit, 82 acceleration, 77 speed. Definitely not bad. I do want to scout one of these other safeties. We're not top 10 for either guy right now, but we could definitely use some info. He's got 90 speed, 65 zone coverage. We got 20 hours left to spend. We can't fully scout him, but he seems to be pretty solid. Gonna have to wait to offer him a scholarship too, but we got 32 out of 35 players on our draft board as of right now, and I think we have a couple of really good options here towards the top with a couple of these 3-stars. We've already offered 15 scholarships so far. I think that's pretty much like how many players you want to bring in before you get to the transfer portal. So if we can get 15 recruits in from high school, I think that is going to be our goal. But next time around, guys, we have our first game, our home opener, and our year 1 opener against the Kent State Golden Flashes. I will see you guys there. Please leave your thoughts down below on the episode, what you want to see going forward, and what you expect this team to do, and who are your favorite prospects that we just talked about throughout the course of this first episode. Please like the video, subscribe, and again, comment down below. I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Have a great day.